So let me ask you something. If you handed someone, let's just say a trusted professional, $50,000 of your hard-earned money, would you just assume it's sitting there safe when you come back for it? Of course you would, right? That's not even something that you would even second guess. So right now, here in Ontario, there are some folks finding out that their home deposit, the money that they've saved and scraped together for that next big move, well, might not have been handled the way it was supposed to. Look, I'm not here to scare anybody, but see, here's the reality. In some situations, those funds weren't properly tracked or they were accessed in ways they never should have been. And this isn't a one-off. We've seen multiple cases in the past year where brokerages had their trust accounts frozen by RICO due to irregularities. Now, everything I'm sharing with you, this isn't just opinion. This is coming straight from public records, official RICO statements, and whatever's been covered in the news. So if you're in the middle of a deal, do yourself a favor and double check everything with official sources. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about fear, it's about awareness and making smarter, more informed decisions with your money. So what the hell is actually going on? Lately, RICO has had to step in and freeze trust accounts at several brokerages. We're talking names like IPro Realty, the SaveMax ones, and now a couple of others. So when you hear trust accounts frozen, it sounds bureaucratic, right? But it's a big deal. That account is where your deposit sits when a deal moves forward, and it's supposed to be locked away, safe. Only touch when the sale closes or falls through properly. A freeze usually means regulators already spotted that something was off. It's reactive after the fact. And in some situations, hundreds of agents got caught up in this, which means buyers and sellers had deals stall out or hang in limbo. Real people with real plans were talking about move-in dates, kids starting new school, life stuff, suddenly thrown into the abyss, into uncertainty. And it's not just one bad apple. The pattern keeps showing up across different brokerages. So when something repeats like that, you can't help but wonder, is there a bigger gap in how things are being watched? And the one that really opened everybody's eyes was the IPro scandal back in 2025. They had about $10 million shortfall in their trust account. $10 million. That's not a rounding error. That is serious. Buyers were left wondering if their deposits were even there, and sellers couldn't close. Agents who already done the work were waiting months just for their commission checks. It was basically stressful for everybody involved. And the part that really caught people's attention was this. RICO was tipped off on this months earlier, but they didn't jump in right away. There was no freeze, no shutdown. The brokerage kept running, deals kept happening, and more deposits kept coming in. Internal folks raised flags, but it didn't change the course fast enough. The independent review called it a major failing in oversight. No shit. And to be fair, not everybody in RICO dropped the ball. Some people inside tried to sound the alarm, but leadership calls are what count. They didn't protect the folks the way they should have. The province had to step in big time, remove the whole board, brought in an outside administrator. The CEO ended up resigning. The registrar was basically out. The governments do not take this kind of action unless trust was seriously broken. But it does make you ask, why did it take something this big before real change kicked in? Because by then, people already felt the pain. The good news, they processed a ton of claims from IPro. I believe over 500 consumer ones have closed. More than 1,500 commissions have been paid out. RICO is also saying that the eligible claims have been paid as well. So it's moving forward, but the delays and worry were real for those that were affected. After IPro, a lot of us hoped that that was the big wake-up call, that we'd never see this again. But then, of course, SaveMax popped up earlier this year. Millions allegedly pulled from their trust accounts for stuff like operating expenses, which is a definite no-go. And in some cases, the funds were later replaced before reconciliation, but they were still used in ways they were not supposed to be. Trust accounts are not there to cover your business expenses. They are there to protect your money. RICO froze accounts there as well. And recent, there's been more freezes. Just last week, Rico updated on SaveMax. They lifted the freeze on one brokerage's real estate trust and general operating accounts, with a third party monitoring now and overseeing every single transaction. But that commission trust account, that's still frozen and that's still in place until a full audit is done. It's progress towards resolution, but it shows these things can drag on and create ongoing uncertainty for all the parties involved. It's a pattern. It's why people are paying closer attention now, especially here in the GTA where the market's already competitive and stressful enough. For buyers, it really hits home because that deposit probably took them years to save. And now it gets all tied up. Basically, their whole plan, financing, moving, pretty much grinds to a halt. I've actually talked to a couple of buyers that were affected by this, who were pretty much ready to close and had to pause everything because of these freezes. And the anxiety that they feel is real because they're wondering if they'll ever get into home ownership. And the sellers feel it as well. It's basically a chain reaction. Your sale stalls, your next buy falls apart. One seller I know had their condo deal delayed, which messed up their down payment on a house that they purchased up north. They end up renting short term while all this stuff gets sorted. And it's not just money, it's people's life plans that are getting derailed. Agents, well, we live on commissions, so when a deal freezes, that income you've earned sits in limbo. Some of them had to file claims just to get paid. It's tough. Many of us are independent, so delayed paychecks means real stress on bills, family, basically everything. And here's the part that most people don't even think about. When you choose an agent, you are also choosing the brokerage as well. And that brokerage is the one that's holding your deposit, which is your money. So ask questions. You got to ask the uncomfortable question. How does your brokerage handle deposits? What's your track record with Rico? Do you know their financial health? Don't just assume. Get comfortable with the answers. In this market, a quick chat or even checking Rico's public registry can literally give you peace of mind. And it's always better to be safe than sorry. The silver lining, Rico's actually moving now. Just last week at the AREA annual general meeting, they've announced mandatory annual financial filings for all brokerages, stricter reporting, more oversight, which is part of the 8 big transformation changes. AREA is backing it too, saying it'll catch risks earlier to rebuild the public's trust. And it's a direct response to these scandals, and while it's not overnight magic, it's real steps forward. But we still need to be vigilant. You need to do more frequent checks, quicker action when red flags pop up. When it's people's life savings, zero tolerance for risk feels right. And at the end of the day, this isn't about bashing brokerages or Rico. It's about real families with real dreams and real money. When something breaks in the system, it's not just numbers. It's people's plans, timelines, and peace of mind. So here's my advice. Stay informed. Ask the questions, be part of the conversation. Don't just go with the flow and stay on autopilot. If this resonated with you or helped clear things up, and if you're navigating the GTA right now and want someone who's watching this stuff closely and always puts your interests first, just know that we're here. And if you want to reach out to have a quick conversation or you may have a question, there is a link below where you can contact us. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.